Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadhyasya Yato Anvayaditartascha Artheshu Abhignaswarat Tene Brahmahridaya Adikavaye Muhyanti Yatsurayah Tejo Vari Mridam Yatha Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Mrisha Dhamna Swena Sada Nirastakohakam Satyam Param Dhimahi Nigamakalpataror Galitam Phalam Shukamukad Amrita Drava Sanyutam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha. We now continue with the 10th Skandha. We are in the 30th chapter. So we now enter a very beautiful chapter of Bhagavatam. We saw in the last chapter how the Gopis came running to see Krishna in the forest. We are in the middle of Rasa Lila. Krishna played the most enchanting flute. All the Gopis came running to him and they all surrounded him like stars surrounding the moon. And after feeling some agony because Krishna asked them to go back, then they pleaded with him that they have come to serve the real Lord and nothing else matters. Then Krishna indulges them and embraces them and satisfies their long-held loving devotion that wants expression. And while doing so, they feel a slight pride. And because of that, Krishna instantly disappears from there. So now Shuka Brahma Rishi continues and he says, the Lord having disappeared from there, all the ladies of Vrija, the Gopis, felt agonized. They were extremely disturbed. Their mind was captivated by his gait, by his movement, by his smiles. They were thinking of everything, how beautiful he looks, his sporting glances, his bewitching smile, his conversations, his graceful movements. And thinking of all this, they started imitating him. They had nothing else they could think of but Krishna, so they started imitating him, imitating his movements. One imitated his smile, one imitated his walk, one imitated his look, and all the wonderful Gopis, they identified with him completely, such that they became as if they were one with the Lord. And they all even declared, I am Krishna. So this is the height of union. They are so caught in the single pointed memory of Krishna. When Krishna leaves them, this is why the separation is a greater blessing than even being with Krishna there, because now they are so much in complete, total, one-pointed contemplation of Krishna that it is said that they became one with Krishna. It says, Gati Smita Prekshana Bhashanadishu Priya Priyasya Pratiruda Murtaya. So they were imitating his movement, his smile, his eyes, his looks, his speech. And in the process, they became him. They became one with him and they declared, I am indeed Krishna. Each one declared. They started singing his praises in chorus whilst searching for him from forest to forest. There are many small forests in Vrindavan. And they were going from one forest to another forest, searching for him, looking for his footprints while talking among themselves. And they started inquiring all the trees now. So they were first talking among themselves and they were imitating Krishna's movements. Now they said, let's find him, let's look for his footprints. And they enter the forest. And they first ask all the trees. They find a holy fig tree, a banyan tree. And they say, oh trees, have you seen our beloved Lord walking here with his beautiful glances and endearing smiles? They look at more trees, Champaka trees, Naga trees, Ashoka trees, and they say, oh trees, have you seen the brother of Ramanuja? That is, they refer to Krishna as Ramanuja here. They say, have you seen the brother of Balaram, who is Krishna, and whose very smile takes away the pride of all women? Go this side. It says, Ramanujo Maninim Namito Darpa Harasmitah. So it's a very interesting name for Krishna because Balaram is also called Ram, as we have seen many times in this 10th Skandha. Anuja means brother. So in the pastime of Ram, Ramanuja refers to Lakshman because Lakshmana is the younger brother of Ram. But in the pastime of Krishna, Krishna is Ramanuja because Balaram is Ram and Ram's younger brother Balaram's younger brother is Krishna. So here it says Ramanujo. So they are asking these trees, have you seen Ramanuja, the younger brother of Balaram here? Have you seen the dear son of Nanda? Then they are asking the flowers. So it is said that they are tired of asking the trees because the trees are considered to be masculine. In Sanskrit, the names of trees are in masculine, whereas the creepers and plants and flowers are feminine. So they say, oh, you trees, you don't understand the separation from Krishna because you are masculine. Only the women will understand. So they go to a Tulasi plant. Tulasi plant is the most beloved of Krishna. So they go to the holy Tulasi and say, oh Tulasi, have you seen Krishna here, Govinda, who's so dear to us, the immortal Lord Achyuta, who's beloved of you too? Have you seen him walking this way? You must certainly have seen him because he wears your tulasi leaves on his garland and it is always attracting bees. It has great fragrance, so you must have seen him. They say, Kvachit Tulasi Kalyani Govinda Charanapriye. So beautifully addressing Tulasi, you are Govinda Charanapriye. You are dear to the lotus feet of Govinda. Kalyani, you are the most auspicious. Tulasi, have you seen Krishna here? Then they address all the flowers. Mallika, Jati. So Mallika is jasmine and Malati is another flower. So all these flowers, again, these flowers are feminine too. So they feel the flowers will know about Krishna. So they say, oh flowers, have you seen the consort of Rama, that is Krishna, who always causes delight by simply touching you, because Krishna, when he plucks flowers, the flowers are so delighted. So the gopis say, have you been touched by Krishna as he walked in this way? Then they go further down and then they see that none of them is answering, their agony is only increasing. So they finally turn to Mother Earth herself. So they realize that trees are not answering, Tulasi plant hasn't answered, the flowers haven't answered. This is such a poetic, most exquisite, loving description of Shuka Brahma Rishi, where there is so much poetry and there is so much devotion and there is so much love, how the gopis are searching for Krishna. So after asking trees, then Tulasi, then flowers, finally they turn to Mother Earth, because they say everyone might have or might not have seen Krishna, but Earth certainly must have always seen Krishna because he is always touching Earth with his lotus feet. So they say, O Earth, you have first of all performed what great austerity that you are always touched by his lotus feet. We see that your blades of grass are coming out as if hair is bristling because of the ecstasy of being touched by Krishna, by Keshava. Tell us only one thing, this joy that you are experiencing, is it only now that Krishna is walking on you, or is it because in the previous avatar Vamana walked on you, or is it because even before that Varaha lifted you? So they refer to the previous avatars of Krishna here beautifully, because Varaha, as we may recall, he rescues earth from the deluge. That is the pastime of Varaha. And then Vamana measures all of earth with one stride. So they say, did Urukrama, or Vikrama, which refers to Vamana as Trivikrama, is it because Trivikrama touched you, or is it because Varaha carried you, or is it just because now Keshava has walked on you that you are so blessed? They say, Kimte Kritam Kshiti Tapobata Keshava Angri Sparsho Utsava Pulakita Anga Ruha Vibhasi. So you are so excited, so happy, your hairs are standing on end like in the form of grass because of Keshava touching you. What austerities have you done? Now tell us, have you seen Krishna? Please tell us where he is. Then they look at a female deer and they address the female deer and say, have you seen Achyuta? And now they start suspecting that Krishna has gone with one special gopi. So they wonder they have if the deer, the female deer, has seen Krishna along with any gopi, because they also smell the fragrance that is coming forth, which is not just Krishna but that of the gopi. So they address the she deer and they say, have you seen the immortal Lord Achyuta come here in the company of any special Gopi, because we get the fragrance of the garland of jasmine flowers of Krishna, but also we get the fragrance of the saffron that is owned by his lady love. So, in this way, they are asking whether the the she deer has seen the passing by that area of Krishna along with his lady love. Then they say, you must have certainly seen him, because he would have probably been walking with a lotus in his hand and having his arm resting on the shoulder of his darling and driving away the swarm of bees that are being attracted to his lotus flower and the garland. You must have certainly seen him, the young brother of Balaram, Ramanuja. You must have certainly seen him. So please tell us. They say, Bahum Priyam sa Upadhaya Grihita Padmo Ramanujas Tulasi Kali Kulair Madandai. You must have seen the bees which are all intoxicated by the honey in the flowers on the garland of Krishna, who is walking by the side of his Gopi, his favorite Gopi. They are suspecting this, they are not yet sure, but they think there is another Gopi who has walked with Krishna because of the fragrance they are getting. And in this way, they are telling each other, make inquiries, O Sakis, O friends, because everyone here is only keeping quiet. We have to somehow find Krishna. Then they find the creepers on trees, and they ask the creepers very beautifully that creepers are encircling the trees, and yet they are also fluttering in the wind as if they are very happy. So they imagine that the tree is the material husband of the creeper, but the real beloved of the creeper is Krishna. So just as the gopis, as we saw in the material plane, they have husbands, but their true beloved, their true consort is Krishna. So they feel the creepers will understand them, because the creepers also, while they are having the tree as their husband on whom they are resting, but they are looking very happy, fluttering in the wind, perhaps being touched by Krishna. So they ask these creepers. So in this way, most poetically, most beautifully, they go about asking every part of the forest, looking for Krishna, and then they become so mad in their love that they start now enacting every single pastime of Krishna. It says, Iti unmata vacho gopyah Krishna anveshana kataraha Lila Bhagavata stasta hi anuchakru tadatmikaha. So these gopis, they got so mad, unmata, they are so ecstatic in their mad love for Krishna that they start imitating the various pastimes of Krishna. So it's beautifully described. So we remember all the pastimes of Krishna, starting from the baby, being enacted right now in this pastime. One gopi becomes like Putana, the demoness who came to poison Krishna, and the other gopi behaves like Krishna, who is sucking the breast of Putana, and then Putana falls down. So they enact this pastime. Then one gopi acts like the cart. If you remember Shakata Asura, the one who was in a cart, the spirit was inside a cart, and Krishna kicked that cart to liberate that demon. So one gopi acts like a cart, and the other gopi acts like Krishna and kicks this gopi. Then another gopi acts like Trinavrita, the demon who came in the form of a whirlwind to carry Krishna away. So one gopi acts like Trinavrita and lifts the other gopi who acts like a baby. And then another gopi crawls like Krishna, remembering the pastime of Krishna as an infant, making the sound of the jingling bells of his anklets. Then two gopis now act like Krishna and Balaram, and the other gopis surround them like cowherd boys. And then one gopi acts like the demon Vatsasura, another gopi acts like the demon Bakasura. If you remember, Vatsasura is the demon who came in the form of a calf. Bakasura is the demon who came in the form of a huge crane, the bird. So they enact this pastime where the two gopis, who are Krishna and Balaram, kill these demons, while the other gopis, who are like cowherd boys, are applauding them. Then one gopi makes the beautiful sound of Krishna calling cows, just as how Krishna beautifully calls each of the cows by the name. The one gopi acts like Krishna, and she calls the names of each of the cows beautifully, and playing the flute also. And all the other gopis are very impressed by this gopi's impersonation of Krishna, playing the flute, and therefore they are all appreciating her. It says, Venum Kwanantim Kridanti Manya Shamsati Sadhu iti. So they are all praising her, Sadhu, Sadhu, excellent, excellent, the way you are impersonating Krishna playing the flute. They are all very happy to see that. Then their mind is completely absorbed in him. And one gopi says, look at me, I am now Krishna. I am going to walk like Krishna. See my beautiful, graceful walk. She says, Krishnoham pashyata gatim lalitamiti tanmanaha. She says, Krishnoham, I am Krishna. See my beautiful walk, lalitam gatim. So, lalita means sportful, graceful walk. Lalitam gatim. So, she see this walk of me. Then another gopi says, now they want to enact the Govardhan pastime, where Krishna protected whole of Vrindavan from the rain by holding up the mountain Govardhan. So she says, don't be afraid of storm, don't be afraid of shower, I will protect all of you. And then she holds up a scarf, pretending as if it's the Govardhan mountain, and enacting the Govardhan pastime. It says, Ma Baishta Vatavarshabhyam Tatranam Vihitam Maya, I will protect you from storm and wind. Then now they want to enact the Kaliya pastime. As we may remember, Krishna drove away the wild snake Kaliya from Yamuna. So one gopi climbs on top of the head of another gopi, and then she places her foot on the head of the gopi and says, oh, wild snake, you go away from here. And in this way, she is enacting the beautiful Kaliya Mardana pastime. Then the forest fire that Krishna swallowed in his mouth, they again enact this. One gopi says, all of you close your eyes now. I'm going to consume all this forest fire and protect you. So exactly as Krishna did it, they are enacting this. Then they finally enact the Damodar pastime, as we may remember, where Yashoda mother tied Krishna with a rope to a wooden mortar. So one gopi bends down like a mortar, another gopi becomes Krishna. They tie a rope between the two, and then the gopi who is acting like Krishna acts like she is very afraid. Her eyes are very afraid, just as Krishna was very afraid of Yashoda in that beautiful pastime with his lotus eyes showing fear. Similarly, this gopi enacts. So in this way, they are completely, most beautifully enacting every single pastime, and also reminding us of the entire Krishna Lila thus far. And as they keep enacting these pastimes and they keep going, suddenly in the middle of the forest, they find in a certain part the footprints of the Lord. So the footprints of the Lord are very distinctive. It is said that Krishna has in his footprints, beneath his toe, there is the mark of the discus Sudarshana Chakra. And then in the heel, there is the elephant goat called Ankusha. And then there is also the lotus flower, and there is all the various other marks that signify Krishna's feet. So that is why when Krishna walks in the forest or in the banks of Yamuna, they leave very specific footprints, and it is said that even the wind will not disturb those footprints. So they find these footprints there. So they say, surely these are the footprints of the darling of Nanda. We can see this with the marks of the flag, the lotus, the thunderbolt, and all of that. So each of this signify a particular thing. The discus signifies that Krishna will remove all the attachments and sufferings of his devotees. The thunderbolt signifies that he will remove the mountain of suffering by striking. The lotus signifies that he will be attracting his devotees as a lotus flower attracts the bees. And the elephant goat signifies that just as an elephant goat controls the elephant, the mind is like an elephant moving here and there, and Krishna will regulate and bring the mind to one pointed focus. So all of these marks have beautiful symbolism, and all these marks are there on the lotus feet of Krishna. So they see these signs in the footprints. So they say, oh, look at this, my friends, my Sakhis. It is Krishna indeed who has walked this way. Let's track these footprints. And when they see these footprints, they suddenly see that there is also the footprint of another lady. So now their doubt is confirmed. They had suspected, as we saw, that there was one special gopi with Krishna, and now their doubts are confirmed because they see the most beautiful footprints of the other lady, the gopi with him. And they say, whose footprints can this be? There is someone who has gone with our darling of Nanda, with Krishna, and he has placed his forearm on her, and he has taken her along. We can see this clearly, and he has been surely propitiated by this lady. So here there is a very beautiful verse. It says, Anaya radhito noonam bhagavan haririshwarah yanno vihaya govinda prito yaman ayadraha. So it says, we can clearly see that there is one special gopi who is going with Krishna, and he has put his arm around her and he is taking her. We can see both the footprints going side by side, and we see that she has propitiated him, she has pleased him. So here it says, first of all, Anaya Radhito Noonam Bhagavan Hari Rishwarah. Bhagavan Hari, the Supreme Being, Hari Krishna, Yanno Vihaya Govinda Prito Yamanayadraha, who is Govinda, who has been extremely pleased in the company of this special gopi, is certainly seen here. Here, one important thing is, Shuka Brahmam does not reveal the name of this gopi, but he gives us a clue. So, the beauty of this is that the special gopi who's never named is none other than Radha. And the name is not mentioned because it is so confidential that Radha's name is not mentioned in all of Bhagavatam. But in this verse, he gives the indication by saying, Anaya Radhito Noonam Bhagavan Haririshwarah. So the mention of the word Aradhito is the one way to split that, which means one who is worshipping Krishna. But Radhito is coming from Radha. So many acharyas have commented that this verse, Shuka Brahmarishi is, through this play on the word, he is hinting that this is none other than Radha, the most supreme gopi, though he doesn't mention her name out of great respect and because it is the most confidential pastime of Krishna. But this is indicated to be Radha, the supreme gopi, the pinnacle of devotion exemplified by Radha. So here it says, therefore, Anaya Radhito Noonam Bhagavan Haririshwarah. So these gopis see this now. They all know that this is their most beloved gopi Radha, who has been taken along with Krishna. And therefore they say, see how blessed are these particles of dust under the feet of Govinda and Radha, who have walked in this way. This feet is being adored by even all the devas, all the divine beings adore. These footprints have stolen away the hearts of so many, and they are saying how blessed is Radha that she is getting exclusive company of the nectar of the lips of Krishna. And in this way, some gopis are very agitated and some gopis are very happy, because some gopis are dear friends of Radha who are very happy for her, and some gopis desire that they be the ones who get this kind of exclusive attention. So in this transcendental mood, all of them are expressing their love, and then suddenly they find that the footprints of the lady are not seen, only Krishna's footprints are seen. And not only that, the footprints are sunk deeper into the soil. So they guess that Krishna has carried her from that point. Because of that, the weight, the footprint has sunk deeper of Krishna. So then they find that only the four part, the toe of Krishna's footprints are found. So they guess that Krishna must have gone on tiptoe to take flowers from the creeper there. So in this way, they are making all kinds of conjectures based on all these footprints. And as they proceed in this way, and they are tracking the beautiful footprints of Krishna going along with Radha, and now Radha's footprints not being seen, and therefore guessing that Krishna is carrying her, and so on. And in this way, when they continue, they are so happy and they are trying to find out where Krishna has gone. Meanwhile, it is said that when Krishna was with Radha in this special exclusive way, he was carrying her, and because of that, she also for a moment became proud. So we saw how all the gopis became proud, and that's why Krishna left them. And he had left only with one gopi, which is the supreme gopi Radha. But now Krishna has because of being exclusively with Radha, Radha has gotten pride momentarily that she thinks, abandoning all the other gopis, he has come only with me and I am getting to enjoy his company, and therefore she tells him, "Oh Krishna, I am not able to walk anymore, you carry me." So when this happens only, it is said that Krishna instantly vanished from that spot. And then when the gopis trace, they find Radha sitting there alone, and she is also in tears now. She is saying beautifully here, "Where are you, Krishna, where are you? I am not able to be without you now." She says, "Ha nata ramana preshta kwasi kwasi mahabhuja dasyaste kripanaya me sake darshaya sannidhim." She says, "O Lord, Nata Ramana, O the one who's supreme beloved, who gives the most happiness, Kwasi Kwasi, where are you? I am here to serve you and you have left me." So she made, as we saw, just as all the gopis did first, now Radha also, for an instant, she was in pride, and because of that, again Krishna leaves her. So she says, "My most beloved Lord, where are you? Where are you?" And while doing so, all the cowherd women have also found her. So they see that Radha is sitting alone and she is in the same state of agony that they all are. So they all hear from Radha what happened. She describes to them, and in this way they all talk. And then after that, they all now join together and try to penetrate the forest further. But as they keep going, suddenly the forest becomes so dense that they are not able to see anymore. The moonlight, it's a full moon night, and therefore that is why they were able to see thus far clearly. But now the forest has become so dense that they are not able to see anything. And so they stop, and then their mind is still absorbed in him completely. So they continue to imitate him. They are identified with him. They are singing his praises, and they are completely in his memory. So it says, "Tad gunaneva gayantyo na atmagarani sasmuruhu." They were not even remembering their own self. See, this is the height of supreme devotion, where they didn't even remember themselves. They were lost in the memory of Krishna, that they became one with Krishna. And then finally, after being able to go any further in the dense forest, they retrace back to the bank of Yamuna, because they see that they are not able to find him, so they can only be with each other and sing the glories of Krishna. So they retrace their path back to the banks of Kalindi Yamuna, thinking of the great enchanter of all, Krishna, and seized with a longing for him to come back to them. They sing of him in chorus. It says, "Punaf pulinamagatya Kalindya Krishna bhavanaha samaveta jaguh Krishnam tadaganam gamana kankshita." So they are tadagamana kankshitaha, means they are extremely in the great longing, extreme longing for him to come back. And they are in Krishna bhavana. They are completely in total mood of absorption in Krishna. And with this mood of absorption in Krishna, longing for his return in the most intense way, they are all assembled in the beautiful banks of Kalindi on the full moon night on Yamuna's banks, and they sing a song which is called the Gopika Geetam. And that Geetam is the most beautiful set of poetry in Bhagavatam itself, which will be the content of next chapter. So with this chapter ends, where they have all now assembled on the banks of Yamuna and they are about to sing the Gopika Geetam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.